Good morning, my friends. This is Paul. And straight after reviewing Professor Layton and the Miracle Mask a couple of minutes ago, I decided that I am going to do a Catholic review on that same game. And the title alone just really got me thinking of, if it's called Miracle Mask, a miracle is an event that defies any scientific reasoning and has a supernatural origin. And seeing as the Layton games have pretty far-fetched and implausible plots, I figured you'll really need a miracle to get out of this doozy. And suffice to say, as I pondered about this, and this was late last night too, and that's typically when I do my best pondering, I realized that there's a really rich Catholic undertone in this story. Whether or not it was intentional, I don't know. But I'd at least like to think that Level 5 was trying to create some kind of moral message. I mean, Layton is a gentleman after all, so why wouldn't that be part of their plan? So obviously, late game spoiler warning. You've been warned. So the basic premise of Miracle Mask is that Layton's best friend Randall fell off a cliff while he and young Herschel were searching for the treasure of the Akbadine ruins, and he was presumed dead, even though he had promised his girlfriend that he and Layton wouldn't do anything dangerous. And so Randall's butler, Henry, decided to marry Angela, his girlfriend, in his stead, and then he created a city called Monte d'Or, which he called the City of Miracles, in the middle of a desert, no less. And it was this thriving circus-like town with plenty of tall buildings and flashing lights and you name it. This was the first Layton game on the 3DS. They had to be show-offy somehow, compared to the boring, dank cities I've seen in the DS Layton games. Anyway, graphics aside, so it turns out that the Masked Gentleman, which is the main villain of this game, is none other than Randall, who didn't die, even after falling off that huge cliff, somehow. What is it with Japanese games and surviving long falls? Phoenix Wright fell off a bridge in Trials and Tribulations, and he survived as well. Do they have any sense of fall damage? Well, anyway, looking past that, so Randall arrives, and he terrorizes the town because he wants to steal Henry's happiness because Henry stole Angela from him. But as it turns out, Henry only pretended to marry Angela because he wanted to keep her safe and preserve her until Randall would reappear. Because he figured if he made this gigantic town out of nowhere, then surely word would reach, well, everywhere, and wherever Randall was, Randall would find it. In addition to Henry sending a bunch of his best men to search through the Akbadine ruins to see if they could find Randall's body. And even after Randall, tries to kill them and all these other nefarious plots that are pretty devious even by Layton standards, Henry is still willing to forgive, Angela still wants to marry him, and Henry even wheels in Randall's elderly mother, as if things couldn't get any better. The Catholic undertone, I would think, is pretty obvious here, but just in case it isn't, I believe that the only way we can explain this absolutely insanely implausible plot is that it's actually a retelling of the prodigal son, in a manner of speaking. You could say that Henry, in a sense, represents the prodigal father, and Randall represents the prodigal son. Wait, prodigal father. Well, that's a cool name, so we'll keep it at that. The forgiving father, there we go. And Angela, I guess you could say, are the joys of reconciliation. So, Randall basically wishes that Henry was dead after he finds out that Angela was married. So, Randall does all these terrible things as the Masked Gentleman to get back at Henry, just like the prodigal son wished that his father was dead, and so he asked for half of his share of the estate. But the father was always willing to forgive. Even at the very last minute, Henry was like, of course, I'm still your friend. And basically the killing of the fatted calf in this game was him presenting Angela and saying, here's your girlfriend. Go ahead and marry her now. Bringing in the mother just added to it. As for the jealous older brother, not really sure where that comes in the story, but the moral message of the story here is basically that God's love is so great that no matter what you can try to do against him, he will present to us a city of miracles, which is heaven, if we are able to follow his commands and simply seek his forgiveness, which Randall does. He wonders if Henry could ever forgive him, but Henry's like, of course I forgive you. Of course I'm going to put all that behind us. You were presumed dead, and now you're alive. Just like, that was almost the exact words that the father said when the son came back. He said, my son was dead, now he's alive. Now we need to party. So Monty Door really is the city of miracles, just like heaven will be the city of miracles for those of us that accept God's forgiveness. Anyway, thank you very much for listening. If you have any other suggestions for Catholic-related themes in Nintendo games, please let me know in the comment section. And until the next time, keep the faith, stay epic, and God bless. Bye.